let's jump into it then. Let's have a look. So obviously I haven't seen this game before, so we'll kind of be covering it from your perspective as it happens.
Yeah.
So there we go. Start is fine. So Amumu Callista, yeah, it's super aggressive. Obviously, you get the Callista throwing you in, and you can go, you can go QRQ as well, which is pretty huge.
Yeah. It's really nice for dives as well.
Yeah,
Really good.
Especially because you can go in Q first, and then she can just pull you to get you out of the tower range as well,
Yeah.
which can be very very nice. So one of the first big things here is we stood up around here for way too long. So when you're in this position, when you have a dominant lane, if you don't have to pull because Diana's starting that, then just pull the wave instead. Like
Okay.
it'll give you way more opportunities to do things, and what you can also do is force them to lose one minion, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Do you know how to pull a wave?
Yeah, I know how. The thing is, whenever I'm with a Callista, I always think I can't really do anything early because the spear like messes up your timing. Level 1, you come out of base 3 seconds late.
Yeah, but I mean, so about 1:35 is when you want to look to start pulling anyway, and you just
Yeah.
sit here, pull, wait for the three casters to hit you, and then dodge in the brush, and then they'll target the first melee. So then obviously that dies off before they get here, and then you get a slow push coming into you,
Yeah.
which might seem okay, slow push, really weird. We're in a really winning lane, right? But it's
But it's
so
ideal
good.
for the gank. Yeah.
Exactly. So for the gank that the Diana is coming down after a full clear to do, and also if this slow push ends up coming in and you can hold the wave back here, what you can do is you can then come and sit in this brush, and Callista can literally just play here. And then if they walk up to the wave, you just kill them. You just jump on them and kill them because
Mhm.
Callista has more than enough damage early to kill them off. Even though there will be a somewhat big wave, like it won't matter too much because they'll get caught up here, which is good for you. Now another thing that you can do in those situations as well is the minion aggro. So you'll get the casters that'll aggro here. They will initially aggro you as soon as you hit champion, but then as soon as you're about here, like and the melees are here, for example, what will then happen is these minions will divert their aggro back to the your blue side minions that are attacking these front three because they'll
Okay.
prioritize the melee minions getting attacked. So what ends up happening is then they'll go back and you just end up with this huge, it's referred to as a long lane, where the lane is just so big and you can just run them down for so much
Yeah.
longer. So you end up really aggressive. Which when you're playing these kind of lanes, you really want to force stuff like that. Especially because Jin, if the wave comes back as well, he's not really going to be able to break it.
Mm.
Like, and if he does, he's going to have to use his E, W, Q, everything on the wave, and then he's got nothing to trade with. So, it's fine that we didn't go too aggro here.
Yeah, I don't. It's not worth a flip when Diana's pathing down.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, now in this situation, we should just be focusing on the wave. So, we should actually help to push this wave there so that it bounces back, like, easier.
Mm.
So, don't worry too much about investing some on the actual wave.
But if we crashed it there, it would just fully reset the wave
Yeah,
rather
but
than
then
bounce.
you kind of get more time as well. So,
Mm.
right here, so this is fine. And now, instantly, you start pushing this one. Like,
Yeah.
because it's going to push it anyway, right? So, you walk up to this and start pushing it now.
Is that worth the health trade though?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Relic, and yeah, it's fine. Like, you're going to lose a little bit of HP, but it's not that big. You've got 2 pots in your inventory and Relic Sack. It'll be okay. Especially when you've got resources coming down too. Like,
Hmm.
if you can get a better lane state for when Diana gets here, it's always an advantage. So, oh, I thought we were going to use our stack on the regular minion then. So now this is good. Diana. So one thing to do as well, a bit more of, is use your F keys. So see this whole time that we've just kind of been dormant in the bush?
Yeah.
Like just have a look around, see what's happening. Even if it's something as basic as, like Darius flashed, or, you see exactly what HP Diana's camps are on, stuff like that, like it's information is always good. Because even like maybe 9 times you use those F keys and they're not going to do anything. But then the one time that they do something, it's going to be such high value that it's going to be really good.
Okay. I mean, I try to. It's just a really hard habit to build,
Yeah, it's really awkward. So the one,
especially in lane.
have you got mechanical keyboard?
Um, maybe. I think so.
Okay, so are your keys like easy to press or are they a bit firm?
They're easy to press. They're not. It's not a membrane. Yeah, I guess it has to be mechanical.
Okay,
Uh,
perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
so they'll have a bit of grit to them because what happens with keys is there'll be like a certain point where they'll actually activate. Because what you can also do is where's your pinky finger on your keyboard when you play?
You.
Q. Okay, perfect then. So what you can actually do is have your hand kind of arced. So imagine your fingers at kind of like a 90 degree at the central
Yeah.
joint. And then what you do is just kind of flatten your hand against your keyboard to reach up to your F keys. And then all you're really doing is kind of like high-fiving your keyboard. So it makes it like really easy because what then happens is say your index finger moves from your R to your F4, you know that index finger is both for an ultimate and for the ADC, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you then start to associate that finger with that information. So it ends up becoming really, really easy to kind
I'm
of
trying to do
instantly
that
escalate.
now, but my
Yeah.
hands are actually too small.
Oh, are
My
they?
hand. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you have to
But
stretch a
I
little
can.
bit.
Yeah, I can do some keybind changes or something maybe.
Yeah, or maybe just stretch a bit. It depends, yeah. It does
Hmm.
depend on the size of your hands, to be fair, but maybe I've just got like big gorilla hands or something, I don't know.
I've just got small hands.
So this Diana didn't okay, Lilia Path bot, okay.
Yeah. I thought Lilia started bot, so I was confused at this.
Yeah, okay. Oh
Good thing I missed that, to be honest.
yeah, I was gonna say. So did we not see the Lilia or
Did, yeah, but Callista's damage is so high we could
yeah.
kill him and get out. If I, yeah. Well,
Okay, so this is good. Okay, that worked out well. One thing with these situations though is place your camera beforehand. And actually, I think your camera move speed is on maybe a bit too high.
I like it on high for, well, I have control of it, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem.
Okay. Just because what you want to do as well is, like, in these situations, set your camera up before you start fighting. So it's like, the fight is going to happen in this area. So set your camera to be over this area first, because this doesn't really provide you anything. And if
Yeah,
you need to run back here, you can always hold spacebar back on yourself, and then go up as well, which can be pretty handy. But so this situation wasn't that bad. It was in a little bit. So it was more kind of here. So set your camera like over this entire area. Like this is where the edge of this is where you kind of want the edge of your camera to be because like it doesn't necessarily matter if you're on the screen. What matters is that where you want to go to is on the screen, if that makes sense. So this area.
yeah,
So then what ends up happening is because you're already panned over the area, you'll maybe need like 1 or 2 nudges maximum, like and that's maximum. Whereas in here, like you're kind of focusing on the fight, but then you've got to also move your camera too at the same time, which isn't too bad. You do it okay, but it will make it a little bit easier in some situations. But this is
yeah.
fine. Oh, Diana, just classic jungler. Like that wave was so frozen. Well, not frozen, but it's slow push. It was a reset timer. Okay.
I mean, I feel like in solo queue it's always better to push because
No, no,
people
no.
don't know what to do with the pressure.
No, so here, sorry, after this fight. So in this situation, you guys want to back, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
I
want
mean,
to do.
to keep this, I agree. It's better to keep the wave like this, but
Yeah.
in solo queue that just never happens really.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, for comp, it's a really handy trick.
Yeah,
So like when the wave is like this, you just hold it here, even though it won't freeze because they're too low HP. What will happen is it'll be a slow push, but the slow push won't start until you're back in lane. So what you do
exactly. Yeah,
is you reset on it, and then once you get back to lane, you spent all your gold. It's a slow push. You just go aggressive again, and then you just kill them. Or you then
yeah,
use that prior to go directly into the dragon, and it gets you a free objective.
yeah. Because the puzzle's really off tempo as well. To be honest,
Yeah,
like I want to back here, and then Seraphine tries to hold the wave, and it's just
yeah. This is the thing. It's rough. I mean, but again, like yeah, solo queue. It's very hard to kind of navigate those kind of things. Oh yeah. Okay. Then it gets out. Jungler's gonna be here then.
I don't know. I think Lilia should be top side because she just died on bot side after clearing.
Yeah, maybe. Right. So a little mid roam.
Just because he's pushing out.
Yeah, just hold the. Although it's okay. Seraphim roam too. So the only issue with this mid rotation is that the wave is pulling into you, which isn't too bad, because she can farm on the tower. But you could have killed the Jin here potentially
Mm,
because he's in a really overextended position, and we know that the Seraphine isn't here because we have this ward down.
okay. Yeah.
So it's kind of like we put Vision down, and even though it's a bit of a more unorthodox kind of ward, it still serves quite a big purpose. Especially this one here as well, right? Because here, this one's showing that she hasn't walked here unless she went really close to the wall. But if she did, then she'd probably show here as well. So we know that she's not there, so we can just go there instead. Especially because Yone's wave is pushing out, pushing in. You know, like we can't really do that much here. So
No.
instead, just go into bot. Now, mid roams are always really nice because you can get vision down, but just ping instead. Like, even though most mid laners won't actually listen, just ping that the enemy support is going up there and just look to abuse Jin. Because here, we're in such a hard winning 2v2, but we also just lost all of the XP from this wave as well, right? So we end up in a
Yeah.
position where, we're further away from 6, and 6 is basically our goal in this kind of lane. Because once we get 6, we do so much.
Yeah.
Because even here, the obviously rotation is good. The build is good though. Like Kendall Gem is super good on support. The
Yeah.
haste is very good, and the early health really helps you in laning phase.
It was either that or Boots Ruby.
Yeah,
But
but you're against things like Senna, you'd always go boots. But against Seraphine and Lilia, like going just a straight HP, I think is more beneficial. Oh, I thought we weren't gonna get that for a second.
I wanted to let it auto as much as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Okay, so this is coming in. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, this Jin's kind of griefing. I just had visions of you just throwing a Q at her and Dana.
I've stopwatch here, so I'm
Yeah,
happy to go under the tower.
yeah,
We misplay this horribly. Well, Callista misplays it.
yeah. What on earth is she doing? I mean, it works, I guess. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Here though, you just want to go and help push this bot lane.
Yeah. Mistake.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, just make sure that you prioritize your own lane first. Like
Mm.
rotations and stuff like that are obviously good. Roams are really good, but just make sure that your waves in it, well, your lane in general is in a good state before you do. Okay, that was kind of scuffed. That didn't hit him.
Yeah. downside of it being such a big skill shot.
Yeah. They should change your Mumu's Q to work like Nautilus.
Well, if it hits a wall, you go to the wall.
No, so Nautilus's Q actually has 2 separate hitboxes. So,
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So if you look at Nautilus's Q, it's got like a big, thick line going down the middle.
Yeah.
This line will hit whatever it hits, you'll go to 100%. So if it's a wall, if it's a champion, if it's whatever, it'll always go through. But then there's also the edge of the anchor, and then there's 2 thin lines that come down like this. And
Yeah, and they only hit champs.
yeah, only champions. So
That's where you get all the bendy
lollipopping
Nautilus
stuff. Yeah,
hooks.
yeah, yeah. Because
I
if
thought that was just lollipopping on a huge skill shot work like that, but it's
oh no, it's the specific thing. So if say for example the minion is here, obviously you'll pull to it because the hitbox will be slightly in here. But if it's like here, then you won't. You'll just go to the champs. It's broken. It's kind of what makes it so good. Like there's so many tricks you can do with Nautilus as well. Like for example, like if you ult and auto at the same time, you will knock up whoever you auto, even if it's nowhere near the person that gets ulted.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things. You can also hide the Q, stuff like that too. It's very good.
The hide the Q stuff is like so rarely doable.
Yeah, it's very odd. But if you can do it, it looks kind of cool. Right, so here we're just looking to get as big of a slow push going as possible. So this is where we're a little bit behind on XP now. And this is just because we took way too many kind of runs early that didn't really get into anything. But you will get 6 off this, so...
Sometimes what I do here, say Callista's not winning so hard, is I'll just go in this bush and reset, and they'll think I'm still in the bush the whole time. And I'll get a free roam off.
Oh. We missed the cannon. Okay. Oh. So, like, in this situation, for example, like, when that's pushing in, just look mid. Just see what's happening, see if there's any summoners or anything that goes down. Like, in comp, it's a little bit easier because people can call summoners, so F keys aren't really as important. But obviously in solo queue, you can't rely on people to give you information correctly. So, just getting that information for yourself is always super, super big. Okay, not bad. Okay. Usually the flash would be a waste, but because the leader is good. Just because she is hypermobile. Also, we didn't swap our Warden Trinket out when we were last in base. So, like, here for example, we know we're at 400. So if you're at about 350 to 400, just swap it out instantly.
Yeah.
Because then you've got sweeper for plays later. Right now.
The thing is, there's got to be situations where it's best to not swap it out, and I don't know when they are.
So if, say, for example, you're getting hard camped, then that's a situation where you wouldn't swap it out instantly. Other than that,
on enchanters, you want to keep it as well normally.
what you mean?
You're more... Say I'm the Seraphine here, I don't want to swap to red until it's...
Oh yeah.
Like, until I've got my quest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I thought you meant like in general.
Yeah. Also, I mess up my leveling here. I normally Emax on Amumu. I don't know what you think, but everyone else seems to Qmax. I think it's a waste.
I mean, Emax makes you tankier, for sure.
Does slightly, like 10 less damage in a fight as well. Or if the fight goes longer, it does a lot more damage.
Yeah. I mean, Qmax allows you to obviously have Q on a lower cooldown, but I mean, Emax is more jungle focused, really. But I mean, it's to some degree what works for you.
I think Q only goes down 2 seconds from 1 point to 4 points. Or something really small.
Let me have a look for you. Because because I know it goes down. Well, it goes up by about 20-25 damage each time, but. So the recharge goes down to 14, and
So yeah, it goes down
the
2 seconds.
yeah. So you do get
If you look at Amumu Z though, it goes down 4 seconds with more damage and more tankiness.
yeah. I mean, it's not too bad because the thing is, there's a static cooldown anyway on Q, so it's like, but you
Yeah,
can get so another thing
you're
that
not really getting more than 3 Qs off in a fight anyway.
yeah. So another thing that you can do as well is you can actually rush anathemas,
Yeah,
which is really good because it puts you at pretty much an entire stun lock. I think they have point
I never
three
know who to
seconds.
put it on though.
So anathemas you put on either anybody that isn't showing precision runes. So if there's
Someone
chance
who
that
doesn't have tenacity.
yeah, no tenacity in their kit, your CC gets extended, which the extended CC is what you're looking for because it'll end up giving you a full stun lock because you can Q into R. So your Q obviously stuns them for a second into your R, which stuns them
One
for
second.
1.5.
1.5. I
Yeah.
thought it was 1.
No, 1.5. So you end up getting to
Yeah,
2.5 there. And with anathemas, I think you get to 2.8. So you end up then being able
at
to
point
queue them
0.2
again.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guarantee about 4 seconds of hard CC on somebody, which makes it insane. It's crazy, crazy good. And you get to stack HP even more. So that's always pretty big. But in terms of Emax, it's okay. Like, it is nice if you're into kind of big auto attack users. I think this game specifically, Q would have been better though because, like, I guess they do have a Yasuo, but like
It
Jin,
also lets you tank minion waves and take literally 0 damage,
yeah.
which is nice.
But then you kind of do that anyway to some degree. Like you don't take too much from it. But also, like Jin isn't really going to be auto attacking you much, and neither is Darius really. I mean, if you jump in, he might focus you, but you're not going to be his main focus, right? So,
Yeah.
I think in some games Emax can be good if you're into a lot of auto attackers, but I think if you're not, then probably Q is better. Just because that lower recharge time can, be really, really big in team fights later into the game. But here, Diana's just mauling them. So this is okay. So why is this rotation fine?
Honestly, I didn't want to make this rotation. I wanted to go bot, but she spam pings help on the
Okay.
Herald, so I go to help her.
This is fine though. So well, like we said earlier, prioritizing your own lane, is Kalista in any danger right now?
No, even
Yeah.
if Seraphine is bot, there's no danger.
Yeah, especially because the wave right now, we can't see it because Jin's head's there. The wave is under the tower, which means it's going to pull back anyway. So when bot lane is pulling in to you, it's okay to go for rotations and stuff like that
Yeah,
because they're never really going to be in any danger. Obviously, if it's into tower though or pushing, then you have to be there. Otherwise, they're just going to
yeah,
get frozen on. So yeah, this rotation is fine purely for that, to be honest. And an extra man on the Herald here is definitely fine.
yeah. I get flamed for coming here as well. They say stay. Calista threatens to AFK if I don't go bot.
I don't know why. Like she gets like solo XP, which
Yeah,
so it's like
and Seraphine shows mid, so she's completely fine.
yeah, and we basically get this for free. Okay. So here, even though like clearing that ward might seem good, don't use a control for it because all you're doing here is you're giving them this golden XP because they know it's here now, right? So you're
Yeah,
giving them this golden XP and it doesn't actually help you towards what your next goal is, right? So we've already got a pink down on dragon here. So even if we were to say put our pink on the dragon, then that's going to be much more value because it's set up ready for when we go there. And yes, they might go and clear it away, but it's not really the end of the world.
yeah. Can't remember what I'm doing here now. Oh yeah,
I thought you were just gonna take Raptor Camp. I'm not gonna lie.
it could that bush could have been warded by Seraphine earlier. That's why I
Uh,
left.
I love how Kalista just instantly pushed that wave in.
Yeah.
Okay, now she dies. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. It's also very interesting that Dana is ganking on Malphite, but
Yeah, when dragon spawning.
yeah.
Like, the macro of this game is just awful.
Yeah. What's this, 450 up here or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you'd expect better, wouldn't you? I don't know why junglers in Masters Plus have an obsession with ganking top lane. It's like bot lane
Mm.
is infinitely better to gank.
It tilts top laners though. You gotta
Yeah.
look at the positives.
Also tilts bot lane as well.
And
Okay.
I get pinged for this as well. Like,
Yeah, you can't go there. So, yeah. The ult was a bit unfortunate there.
yeah.
But we got his flash. There's no reason to fight. This is just stupid fight in general. Like, yeah. Hopefully you don't die too. No.
I could Q to Gromp there, I was fine.
Yeah. Well, if I was just really bad, you literally had your Yasuo's flash.
Hmm.
There's no reason to keep going.
There's
But
a free dragon as well, but
yeah.
I don't know, faith that this Kalista would ult me, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, unlucky. Okay. We take those. E Max. The E saving your life.
I just mess up all my points in this game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Emax is pretty good.
I don't think you would have actually died there without it, but you never know.
Depends how many minions are hitting me.
Yeah. I think there was a few, but... Right, okay.
There's no point in me going top here.
Yeah, no. Like, I don't get why there, so... Desperate to go top.
I don't know how a Malphite beats a Darius either, but that's life.
Yeah, I mean, it can be okay, because obviously it means that he can just stack armor, like, super quick.
Yeah.
If Darius doesn't get kills within, like, the first 9 levels, it can be really rough for him to do anything. Because, like, he can't get on top of Malphite either, especially if he maxes Q. Because
Yeah.
the amount of movement speed he gets out of that, he can never 5-stack. So it's actually pretty good for Malphite, I think.
But solo kill good? I don't think it's solo kill good.
Yeah, Darius has to mess up for Malphite
Yeah.
solo killing. Okay. Okay, Lilia, see it.
Bye for Callista's sins.
Yeah.
I burn way too much here.
Yeah, we flashed too. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's close, but Yasuo could dash through the Krugs anyway, so it's yeah, not
Yeah.
great.
So yeah, this is it kind of just comes down to where your jungler is, because obviously Dana is pathing into bot side right here anyway. So you should just ping to back away from this.
Yeah, we know they're mid and jungle are bot side as well.
Yeah. So it's like we know where they are. And Dana is on her way, and Yone can respond. But yeah, obviously when you do flash, it's usually better to get a flash to a wall. But
Yeah. Just shouldn't have flashed, to be honest.
Yeah. She just accepted the noble death. Probably shouldn't have ulted either, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm used to having CDR boots on Amumu, and then the ult has like no cooldown.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's an adaptation thing.
Okay. Okay. Twist and misses Q.
Wait, does she have fleet on Diana?
No,
No.
Conquer.
Oh, is that the Conquer? I thought that's the fleet animation, but I guess that's the Conquer animation.
Yeah, no, it's Conquer. So
So I'm thinking what to build here, and I think in Frozen Heart's probably the best option. And then I can put Anathemas on Lilia if it gets to that stage.
yeah, yeah, Frozen Heart is actually really good here. It's got so much value. Frozen Heart overall as an item is completely busted.
Sometimes I rush it if it's a good game for it, but most of the time you need the health and MR that Locket gives.
Yeah, yeah, Locket's very good. I don't know why people hate on Locket so much. You could have,
Can people hate on? I've never heard people hate on Locket.
yeah, I saw on Twitter a few days ago a thread of people hating on Locket. I was like, what?
What for?
Yeah, I was like, they were just saying that it was just a bad item, and I was like, I think, like but the thing is, they were comparing Locket to Moonstone, and I was like, they're completely different items. Like you build them on completely different champs. You can't, like, obviously Moonstone is completely broken. Like I think that's a universal thing. Like Moonstone is so busted, but yeah, people are like, oh, Moonstone's just so much better than Locket. Why would you ever go a champion that builds Locket? It's like plenty of reasons, but
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Enchanter items just so much better than the support item,
yeah,
the tank items. But the problem is if the tank items are good, they're not built. They're built in top lane and jungle and
yeah.
everywhere else. So
I think to be honest, this could have been a huge even shroud game as well.
yeah. Even
Well,
Shroud's not bad. But
because like we're
I
so
feel
far
like
ahead.
Yeah.
I think because in this game we're so far ahead and a lot of our damage is burst, whereas theirs is sustained damage. I think it's really good here.
Um, Veigar. I had a session with Veigar the other month, and he was saying like even Shroud's good if you're against lots of tanks.
Yeah,
So that's my philosophy.
yeah.
I don't feel like we need more damage against these guys because
So
the amount
it's
of damage is kind of pathetic, to be honest.
the thing is, so the reason why I think is really good here is because they're not very high burst, so they're the
The locket
locket,
value goes down.
yeah,
Yeah,
and also they. Oh wait, okay. Is there gonna be a fight?
I miss every Q I fire in this one.
Yeah. So the thing with even shroud is because they're all long term damage, they're gonna damage you over time rather than burst. But
Yeah,
your Diana is burst. It means that if you end up getting the engage in first, lock everybody up with your R, Diana can instantly jump in and she gets more damage on her R then, you know? So the
yeah.
chance of her just completely like killing everybody with just her damage 1v5 is super, super high with even Shroud. But yeah, it's definitely a more situational item. Locket is easier to kind of build consistently, but yeah, the Wombo is huge here. The Amumu is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I think the game's pretty much over at this
Yeah,
point.
so at this point, it's a case of just ending out. So let's see what you do towards ending things out now.
So our best option is to just push as far as we can here and then go Baron after a reset.
Yeah, get the inhib and then start snowballing the map.
Mm.
Even getting this tower is fine though because you get minion buffs in like the maximum minion buff in lane when you get this tower. So even though you
What do you
don't
mean?
get
Oh, did your minions get stronger with the more towers you take?
yes, so for every
Right.
tower that you take down, your minions gain more damage and also take less damage. So the calculation specifically, the bonus damage. So let me just.
Is this for every minion in the game, or is it just for the
No,
ones in the lane where the tower was
it's
destroyed?
just for the lane, so it's per lane. So the bonus damage is equal to 5%, plus 5% by the amount of towers. So you know if we've got say one tower or two
Yeah.
or
Okay.
three, then it's times by the team level advantage. So, say for example,
Right.
if your team is, like 3 levels advantage, it'll be times by 3.
Okay.
But it's capped at 3, so it can't go any higher than 3 here. So even
Oh,
if
okay.
your
I was
team
gonna
is like,
say.
yeah, no, even if your team is like 10 levels above, like it will always be capped to 3. So yeah, this is per lane. This is also why you can freeze at this point here, infinitely, because after you take this tower, the bonus damage that your minions do allow you to keep that wave frozen there permanently.
Yeah.
And then they also get damage reduction, which is 1, plus the. Oh, sorry, this parenthesis is wrong. Sorry. So it's 1, plus the turret advantage. So 1, 2, or 3, and then times the team level advantage
Is that
again.
the difference between turrets or the number of turrets taken?
So the number of them taken, but obviously
Okay,
if
yeah.
if you take this one and then the enemy take this one, the minions then
You both
just
get the same buff,
yeah they
yeah.
equalize yeah, and then yeah by team level again, um, so yeah that's how
Is that also capped at 3?
yeah the team level advantage is always kept at 3, just because it's if not it'd be
Hmm.
completely broken. But it's also the average of the entire team as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's not based on each person. So yeah, this is kind of the calculation. It's it's a little bit to get your head around, but it's not that bad when you think about it. It's just basically 5% plus 5% times the amount of turret. So it's yeah. This is why when you are looking to close games out in comp, this is why it's so important that you get towers by tier. So, for example, like if there's a tier 1 in top lane, and say tier 2 in bot, and then, tier 3 mid, in theory, that is sometimes a little bit scuffed. Actually, let's move this tier. Say there's this one here, you wouldn't really look as much to siege mid and bot as much. You'd look to siege top first to get that minion buff, and then you'd look to get this one, and then this one, and then all of a sudden you've got two iterations of the damage to help you siege their base. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
by getting all of those outer towers, you're basically claiming resources needed in order to siege their entire base. So it can be really, really good.
Such a weird mechanic.
Yeah, it's very odd, right? But it's kind of this is the thing that people don't get as well. Like, it's like the different stages of the game, right? You've got level 1 to level 15, which is early, and then you've got 15 to 25, which is like mid, and then you've
Yeah.
got 25 plus, and people don't realize that like these exist. Like the game has had this in it for the longest time, because 1 to 15 you get a cannon wave every 3, and then
Yeah.
15 to 20 it's every 2, and then at
Every
25
wave.
it's every
Yeah.
wave. Yeah, so it's like people always say like, oh, you can't bring games back at 25 minutes, but you can, because if you freeze a side lane, oh, my email's gone off, if you freeze a side lane, you end up denying them a cannon every single wave at 25 minutes. So if you're really behind in a game and you say need to get to your IE as ADC, what you can do very easily is you can just get your support to ward up through the jungle, whatever they decide, and then all of a sudden you just sit here and you just permanently freeze the wave and farm until IE, which this equals 195 gold a wave. So you end
Yeah.
up in a situation where every 2 waves is just over a kill. So it's like you bring that back super easy, and then you get to a point where you've got your IE, and then you can group and team fight, and all of a sudden, if you're playing something like Jinx, it doesn't matter that you're falling behind, or like Vayne specifically as well. Like sometimes Vayne wants her tower to drop purely so she can just safely farm, because once you get to that 2-3 item spike, you're going to be super strong anyway. So yeah, these comeback mechanics have existed for the longest time, but people just don't abuse them and don't use them. Like I don't know why. It's baffling. Like almost as baffling as Callista just face tanking a Seraphine all like, but so there we go, Baron, which is okay. Okay. So yeah, Frozen Hearts, good call. Like it's good that you only got one pink here though.
Yeah, it's pointless to get
Yeah.
to. Habitat. It's quite an easy habit to break, actually.
Yeah. I used to
But
do it all the time on jungle. Like all the time. And then I
the
realized that you're just wasting gold.
the way I realized it was every time someone else picked one, I'm thinking that's 100 gold difference. I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
this is
then
the thing, right? Like you get the gold and XP from it over and over. So when you get people like building like 15 to 20 control wards a game, it's like, okay, not only are you spending your entire support budget on that, but you're also giving them XP and gold.
yeah, I've well, not a fan, but I know someone in Challenger who's a Sona one trick, and they never buy
Oh,
wards.
what's their name? On NA, right?
No, on EU.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
it's I could have sworn it started on NA. Somebody got rank 5 Sona doing that. Like rank 5 like overall, by the way.
yeah. It's,
Which it was weird, but
I mean, it makes sense because Sona does like the gold.
yeah. Like Sona, if you get to 25 minutes, is completely busted. Oh,
I tried to reset the aggro and she
yeah.
ended up tanking.
So yeah, Sona 25 minute Sona is ridiculously broken. It's so good.
Yeah,
Right. So
people need to pick it into Yumi in professional instead of just banning Yumi every game.
yeah,
Yeah, the game's over now. It's not much more
yeah.
to.
This is the end, right? Like I don't know why Yano is still just pushing top. And this is the thing as well. You don't always need three. Oh, okay, that was nice.
I misplay a lot in this fight. Missed every Q
Okay,
my ult. Oh, I think I hit this one though.
okay, nice, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the main kind of takeaways from this one is, I mean, your roams early, like you're not prioritizing yourself as much as you
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Like, so one of the main things that you want to start doing is like evaluate at what points you need to get to start having a large impact. So obviously on a Mumu, like that level 6,
6.
especially with Callisto, is such a huge impact. You don't want to be getting in these situations. What was it? It was earlier, right? It
I'm
was
stuck in bot
around
lane without ult. Yeah.
yeah, it was around these kind of times where, we're in bot lane level 5, but we can't really do all that much because we don't have ultimate, especially when we have such easy dive capability. Obviously, here you do get it, but
Yeah.
yeah, also missing the
There's
counter
been
hit as
cases
well.
where I haven't got it in that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. And then like the roams, like again, just make sure that you're reading the lane states when you are going for roams. So
Yeah.
just as a note, it's like if the wave is pulling into bot lane, you're usually safe to rotate. So say you get level 6, or if you're playing a champion that doesn't require like a level 6, right? So if you're say playing something like Rakan.
Hmm.
Rakan needs level 3 and that's it. That's all you really need. Like your 6 is great,
Or
don't get me
pipe,
wrong, but
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
probably where
pipe
I
as
got these
well.
habits from.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like those champions they need to just get on the map, or they're allowed to anyway, and they just kind of
Yeah.
run around and do whatever. But make sure again that you're reading the lane states that you're going to. So if say for example mid is pulling in, then that's a really good opportunity. But obviously you have to make sure that you ping way earlier so that they don't end up just pushing the wave back into them, which mid laners will still do.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Again, I would honestly probably just mute pings and stuff like, especially in these elos where nobody really, I mean, they do understand macro. I don't want to. I don't
I've
want to.
had games with really good macro. It's just a
Yeah,
flip, really.
yeah, exactly. It's some you will and some you won't. Usually, it's determined by how good the jungler is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
If the jungler is really good at macro, then your games will be very easy. Obviously, it's a little bit different in lower elos because it's a case of the lanes collapse before junglers can really have as much impact. But in these elos, that's not gonna happen as quick. I mean, you'd hope 9 times out of 10 anyway. But yeah, so the other kind of big kind of concept to obviously focus on is just those F keys,
Yeah.
just to kind of have a look and also practice timers as well. So do you know to do timers in chat?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Control A, Control C, just do that.
Uh,
So Do you know the summoners like
What do you mean?
timings?
Yeah, I mean it's 5 minutes for Flash. 4:30 if they have Cosmic.
Yeah.
Was it 4:20? It's like 4:28 or something. But
So,
uh,
let me find. I did.
that I think yeah. To start with, I'd only do Flash to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See if
I've tried it, but it's just that's a really hard habit to build.
yeah,
Honestly, and
because Flash is obviously 300 seconds, which
five
is
minutes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it depends. Yeah, uh, yeah. So that's 300 seconds, and then you've got your defensive. Well, your utility spells, I guess they would be classed as, which is cleanse, exhaust, ghost. They're all 210.
Yeah,
And then you've got your barrier and ignite, which are 180. So they're not too bad. So you're just remembering. Also, heal is 240 as well. So you've got your. So TP is hard because it scales down.
TP 6 minutes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah,
360 at TP, and then you've got
but it doesn't really
Flash.
matter tracking it early.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
because until 14 it doesn't matter, innit? And then you've got your Flash for 300. You've got Cleanse, Heal, and well, I mean Evolve TP, but still for
it's a
240.
two. That's 4 minutes, isn't it? 240 seconds.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
yeah. And then you've got your Cleanse, Exhaust, Ghost, which are all 210. And then you've obviously got your Barrier
3.5.
and Ignite,
Yeah,
which are 180. So they can be awkward. Like up first, just learn them without Cosmic, and then just like so. Say if they do have Cosmic and you haven't learned that yet, then just be like, okay, well, they probably got it earlier. Like just make sure that
yeah.
you're only going if there's like a minute left. Then that's fine to go, especially when you're just learning it out. Obviously, yeah, the haste does reduce it. So you've obviously got 12 from boots, 18 from cosmic for a total of 30. So that is 30 haste. I think is about
I'm
20
looking at it
percent.
now. It's 230 seconds the cooldown. So
Oh
that is 20%. Yeah, exactly. On
yeah.
Flash, I'm just looking at Flash here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So yeah, the haste is pretty big. Yeah.
it's such awkward numbers.
Yeah, they're very weird, but just get a rough amount. Like a couple of seconds isn't gonna be huge. It's not crazy. But if you do start timing these, not only is it gonna help in solo queue because the amount of times where you can paste a summoner, and then this goes hand in hand with F keys, right? Because you end up in a situation where you can F key constantly, and if say for example you see okay, the Yone is looking like he's going to try and force a fight, you could just instantly paste the summoners. And if it comes up, okay, he doesn't have flash, you've just given that Yone information that he can use to actually win that fight,
Yeah,
which in solo queue is actually really, really helpful. But in comp, it's even better because, like as support, you have a lot more downtime in comparison to other lanes. So if you can really nail these timers, then it's such a huge thing. It can be so valuable. So yeah, I'd say that's another big thing to kind of focus on as well. So obviously this was just from the one game. What I'll do is I'll just end the recording now and upload it to YouTube for you.